Good afternoon, everyone. The founder of Rayat Shikshan Sanstha, Padma Dr. Karmaveer Bhaurao Patil. Rayat founding Dr. Sanstha by Patil. This meeting is on the esteemed guest, Dr. Shabina Mudinai, principal of our Bhaurao Patil. Of one college and on the member. On research, research, methodology, and pedagogies for faculty development. We are at the last of the FDP. For that, leaders now went to worship our adults, economic and great knowledge, learning and important, and this all the leaders to work with our adults. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Please take a seat. I will press the play clearly.
रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा कर्मवीरांचे ज्ञानपीठ हे शक्तिपीठ ही ठरते आहे शाहू फुल्यांचे समानतेचे तत्वमानसी मूर्ते आहे धर्म जातीच्या पाद गांधींचे मूल्य मानवी जपतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा ही लेणी मोडून लक्ष्मी वहिनी झाली आई कमवा आणि शिका मंत्र हा तरुणाईला प्रेरक होई स्वावलंबी वृत्ती ठेवून ज्ञान साधना करतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा दीनदलितांसाठी अण्णा तुमची झिजली चंदन काया, अनाथ जीवा सदा लाभली मातृहृदयी तुमची माया. शून्यामधल्या नवसृष्टीचा निर्मिक तोही ठरतो आहे. रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे. वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे. रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा. जीवनातला तिमिर जावा, प्रबोधनाची पहाट व्हावी. इथे लाभले पंखले उनी, उंच भरारी नभात घ्यावी. प्रतिभाशाली बहुजनांचा वेलू गगनी चढतो आहे. रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे. वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे. रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा.
Now I would like to request our Honorable Principal, Mr. FDP, sir, to felicitate our today's esteemed guest, Dr. Shabina. Now I would like to request HOD of Home Department, Parliament, to felicitate our Honorable Principal, Mr. FDP. I would like to request FDP sir to felicitate the parties. I would like to request Shabina ma'am to felicitate Patil ma'am. Thank you ma'am. Thank you sir. Please take a seat. So today is our last day of FDP session and today's topic is teaching and learning pedagogies, active learning tools. This application is a platform for learning. It's a journey toward excellence, innovation, and collaboration. Throughout the program, all faculty members have the ability to engage with non-person, explaining and getting novel insights in the latest trend of research methodology. Now I would like to request Jadon ma'am to introduce our esteemed guest to all the persons. With the number reference to the founder of registration Sanstha, founder of registration Sanstha, community Patil, Red County Lieutenant Patil, all the dignitaries present on the dais, and faculty members. Good afternoon to everyone. I am Aditya Zagos. We honor to introduce our esteemed guests for today's last session of Faculty Development Program. We are gathered here to gain insights and inspiration from someone who has achieved remarkable success and have generously added to share their thoughts with us. Our guest as a resource person today is Mrs. Shabina Jamil Modi, ma'am. She is a renowned associate professor from Computer Science Department, Karmaveer Bhaurao Patil College of Engineering, Satara. Her contributions to technical education have been nothing short of extraordinary. She is qualified as Masters of Engineering in Computer Science, a doctorate in computer science with the area of expertise like computer networks, database engineering, and cloud computing. With a career spanning over 2 decades, Modi ma'am has published 3 patents. One patent has been filed, and another one is with the copyright. Research grants from University in Delhi and the National Low Level. She has published more than 50 journals in Scopus and many other reputed journals. Her work has not only set new standards but endeavors. It is not just her professional achievements that make her special. She is an expert speaker for more than 20 FDPs and guest sessions for educating and guiding the faculty like us. Her unique perspective and innovative approach have had a profound impact on the students and colleagues. Today, she will be sharing their thoughts, insights on how different active learning tools can be used in the technical education process for uplifting faculties as well as our students. She will guide us today on different teaching pedagogies, a subject that is both timely and relevant to us. Before I invite Mujna on that, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude for taking the time to be with us today. And your presence here is a testament to your commitment and our faculty. We are incredibly fortunate to have the opportunity to learn something of your caliber. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming warm welcome to Mrs. Shabina Devi Modi ma'am. Let's give them a round applause for them. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. Yeah, the voice is little bit very low. That's why I'm saying once again, good afternoon. So, first of all, I'm very much thankful to principal of this institute, Professor Narendra Devi sir. So, thank you so much, sir, for inviting me, and a special thanks to Shinde madam. She has invited me as a guest speaker. I already said that we are the family because I'm belonging from Rayat Shikshan Sanstha KBP College of Engineering, Satara. I believe that this is my own college, so anytime I can come and I can guide you. So based on this, today's my topic is active learning tools. Before going to the exact topic, I want to discuss few things related to this teaching learning pedagogy. Nowadays, it's very biggest challenge in front of the teaching community that how to engage the students because every thing is available on the Google and one more important app is today that I know the students are using is ChatGPT. If everything is available on the online on Google and ChatGPT, why the student feel that I should attend the lectures and improve my knowledge, etc. So it is very necessary from the student perspective that how we can improve our teaching learning methodology. Only the traditional approach right now we are using, that is the chalk and board. And one more steps towards that is the PowerPoint presentation. Do you think that it is only sufficient for us to engage the students to improve the knowledge? Right now, one more important thing is that the students are not interested in the gaining the knowledge or taking some efforts. What they are feeling that we should complete this task, complete this assignments without taking any extra efforts for the submission purpose, because they are interested in the marks. They believe that if I get the first class or in every year, then I will get the job. But they don't know that whether only getting the marks in first class or will it be sufficient for them to get the job. It's not, obviously, because the right now the every industry demands that they need the skillful persons. The skillful person, how you can give it to the industry, because the industry demands a product like that. The person should be skillful, then only they can avail this facility for our students. So it's the biggest challenge in front of the teaching community. As a being a teacher, I work many things related to active learning tools and many FDP I have conducted. In every session, I am going to saying same thing, that as a teacher, now the role of the teacher has been totally changed. Now we cannot say as a teacher I am teaching, because we are the only the facilitator. We are providing the facility to our students. Right now, as a teacher, if I'm not wrong, maybe wrong, because most of the teachers, what we are doing, that we are also taking some things from the Google and something, some PPTs, and then we are modifying and then we are presenting. No doubt it is useful, but as a teachers, you need to be revise the things, you need to provide certain additional efforts, put some additional efforts, and make your presentation, make your lectures, make your practicals in a way that the students should engage, the students should learn. In the sense that the student should not be in the passive mode, students should be in the active use. So with this motto only, I am deleting the session, and I hope that you also should be interact with me during this session. One thing I'm thinking, and don't believe that it will be very useful for us. If you will ask me the questions and if you also interact with me during this session, then it will be definitely useful for you. Because we are going to learn many new tools today. I hope because it's very less time, and within less time we are going to teach many more tools. So your cooperation, your support is definitely required for me to deliver this particular session effectively. So next slide. So with this objective, my objective is that at least you people should know what are the active learning tools. Might be you might be know some few of the tools, but with how to use these active learning tools effectively during these sessions. What are the parameters? How you can consider in your teaching learning methodologies? Pedagogy is very important. So with these learning categories, we are going to consider. First objective is that introduce the concept of active learning. What are the active learning tools? Demonstrate active learning tools effectively, and describe the active learning technique teachers that can be used in the classroom for engaging the students and for effective teaching learning process. As all of you know that learning categories include knowledge, skills, and attitudes. If you want something is learning at that time, how you can fall into this particular category. Right now, we are having so much knowledge, but we are not going to convert it to the skill. And the attitude is also important. Right now, the industry demanding that your attitude should be positive. When you are having the positive attitude, then only you can actively participate, you can improve your knowledge. When your knowledge will be improved, then certain skills will you can be able to generate. I'm going to skip few of the things immediately so that we will focus on the active learning tools. As well as all of you know, there is a ask model to describe, to understand that what is exactly attitude, skills, knowledge. If you're having the positive attitude, then you can build your knowledge, you can build your skills as per the requirement of the industry. So you have to think that what type of skills do you, for example, if I'm a teacher, suppose if I'm teaching the cloud computing course, or suppose if I'm teaching the computer network course, we'll take one example, that is I'm teaching one computer network. So what we will do that we are taking the syllabus from the as far as your case is concerned, deeply. And what you are doing, that, how many units are there, how many lectures are there, how we are preparing the lecture plan accordingly, and how many lectures we will get throughout the semester, and based on that you have planned something. But we are not knowing how you can deliver this particular content effectively with your students so that the students can be engaged effectively. What we are believing that my role is to deliver this content, whether the student will understand, not understand, we are not taking bothered, if I am not wrong, because we are not going to cover the 360-degree. What we are doing that we are immediately going to the lecture because we are in hurry to complete the syllabus. And when the students will understand today, we are going to deliver this immediately we are starting. But we are not taking care that whether the student understand the previous things. If not, then you should ask the questions on the previous part. If the student will give the answer, then you can realize that my first session has successfully completed. Now the second session is this. This way you have to start. For that purpose, it is necessary that some active learning tools has to be used to at least you understand that whether your student has understand the concept or not. So that's why you have to use it because every time it's not possible that you have to ask the questions orally. Sometimes it is necessary that this active learning will help you to at least analyze as a teacher that whether whatever you are teaching, whether your students can understand or not. If they not understand any point, the how they are going to communicate with you. That will definitely helpful for you for the student also because when the students realize that this particular point I am not going to understand, they can share their experience with their with this tools. That is the motto behind. So in the ask model, what we are going to consider is what should be the attitude, skills, and knowledge, how we are going to build depending upon the scenarios. Now, as you all of you know that outcome-based education in previous session, I have already says that outcome-based education it is very necessary that you should describe what is meant by the output and what is meant by the output. For example, sometimes we feel that this is my output and same is the outcome. No. For example, I have given the example that for a highway construction project, if what are the outputs? The output may be include highway designs or number of highway miles completed. As far as outcome is concerned, maybe you need to increase the capacity, maybe you increase the traffic flow, shorter travel times, and fewer accidents. These are my outcomes that I am going to achieve through this my highway construction project. So what type of outcomes and what type of outputs you should be focused in that way. Whenever you are taking any course, at that time you should be able to say that these are my outcomes and I want to achieve this outcome with the help of these countries. Sometimes we may feel that, for example, you know that there are programming PO1 to PO12. So these PO1s and 1 to PO12 having certain strategies. So these particular skills, the student should be throughout in their program 4 years degree, 3 years degree in your case. So 3 year degree they should complete all these skills effectively, then only they will get the job. You can proudly say that I am having this one. These are the skills that are to be considered in the PO1, PO2, PO12. After PO12, you have to decide your target. So how you can? So suppose right now I have say, given one example that the output can be measured. That is miles of the periods, number of bridges required, bus route expansion. These are my outputs. But what are the outcomes? I have to reduce the number of accidents. I have to reduce the travel time, and I have to split the transit mode. That is very important to consider this example effectively. That what are the outputs and what are the outcomes. If you if you are making any conflict regarding the output and outcome, then you will never achieve your target. That is very important. So basically, as a teacher, the first part is that active learning. The first step is that you have to write your course outcomes. That is, what are the your course outcome? How you are going to achieve this course outcome through the different tools, different pedagogies that today we are going to discuss. Sometimes what we feel that only the assessment is pro question papers, unit test, mid-semester examination, end-semester examination, oral guava. These are the sufficient strategies, these are the sufficient assessment techniques that we are using. But beyond this, whether you are going to consider, for example, project-based learning, case studies, demonstrations, okay, many things, many activities are to be there that has to be used for achieving your course outcome. Today we are going to discuss these pedagogies, how they can be used. Now, as far as the Bloom taxonomy is concerned, as all of you know very well, and we are repeating many times, we are considering this Bloom's taxonomy. The first level is that is remember, understand. Yes. Remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. As a teacher, I am 100% sure that any one course cannot achieve all this six level of between six level. This is advanced group taxonomy where we cannot say that we can achieve all six types of six levels of the group taxonomy through my assessment technique. When you are going to consider the pedagogy tools for evaluating your students for achieving these growth taxonomy. For example, remember the simple question you can ask the students related to the remember which one is the biggest city in the Japan. You can immediately remember and they can give the answer very nicely. Understand how do you classify, explain what is remember. These are the types of questions that you can ask like what happens when you multiply each of these number by 9 because you are going to apply certain things after learning the knowledge, after learning the concept. Now you are applying the concept and you are asking the question. Now analyze what are some of the factors that cause this because you are going to analyze some things. Because you have already learned the concept, you are applying the concept. Now you are going to analyze the concept. You are like, what story did you have for person? Because it is very necessary. You have to choose any one story, then you should understand that which story are the best. So about that, you have to list down certain parameter. Based on the certain parameter, you can define this story is best. For example, in our case also, we can select one of the student is the best outgoing student. How you are going to select the best outgoing students? For that purpose, you have to analyze the performance of every students. You have to set for setting parameters, academic performance, extracurricular performance, sports performance. These are the various research performance. Based on that, you can select the best outgoing students. Similarly, such type of questions can be used to evaluate the students that is under the evaluate level. Create how would you assemble these items to create a business? For example, in our case, the project-based learning is the best example. Wherein what is our expectation that the student should consider one problem statement. With the help of the technology, they can create one project, and that project has to be defined whatever they have learned throughout these courses. So it is very necessary that what are the assessment strategy you are going to consider for evaluating your student. So at the Bloom's taxonomy level, whether you are going to consider apply, analyze, create, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. These are the three upper core layers. That is, you can say that higher order thinking level, wherein the teacher has to focus on it because we are believing that the teacher should be a facilitator and every teacher has to analyze the students effectively. It is very necessary that we should provide the platform where the student can think in at the higher level. At the higher level, you have to frame the questions, frame your assessment strategy in a way that the student should able to think, apply the concept, analyze the concept. Last, do you have any problems? So apply, analyze, and evaluate and create. So these are the four levels where you have to think on it that how you can ask the questions or use the parameters or tools, assessment strategy so that you can evaluate the student at that level. For example, if I am asking the question at remember level, at only understand level, will it be sufficient? In our question paper, what we are going to ask, definitely the task is explain what are these parameter and the short noun, something like these questions, distinguish, compare, list out. These are the questions that we are going to ask the students. But all these types of questions are at the only at the remember and understand level. Sometimes we are using some questions related to apply at max, for example, if any programming concept is there. Because I am from computer science and engineering, that's why I'm giving the example to that particular field. Suppose you are asking certain formulas to be with apply this formula and evaluate this. Certain of the questions will only think that the student has to apply the concept and evaluate something. But we are not going to ask the questions about the creativity because the creativity requires a few hours that will not sufficient in the question paper that we are providing the students. Within 3 hours, it is very difficult for the students to go to the create level. So what we are doing at level, PO1, student taxonomy, remember, understand and apply, we can ask. What about the other levels? So the other levels, it is necessary that we should think, we should adapt certain strategies. So we think of that how this particular course content has to be implemented with the help of certain project-based learning, certain case studies, certain innovative activity. For example, you can give them any real-time example. You can think on that real, can think on the real-time example. They can demonstrate it. They can present their ideas. These way you can adapt the various strategies, and with the help of that strategy, you can reach your students can reach to this particular level up to create. So now moving towards the main aim of our session is that is active learning. So in this diagram, hopefully you can understand that how this active learning tool is motto is that the student should do something. In my session, if suppose if I'm delivering the session, you are listening, that's why you are not taking it seriously. Somebody is in their mind might be thinking other way in another. Somebody is interested to surf on the mobile, and somebody is looking others and laughing. That this is the example that we are doing right now. As the students are also doing the same things. So why it is necessary? Why this is happened? Because as a teacher, it's my role is to engage the student, engage the participants. How you can engage? Suppose after delivering the lecture, if I'm asking some questions, definitely you have to give the answer. Then only you can be concentrate on the particular session. Suppose if I'm delivering and I'm not going to ask anything in between, then you might be in the sleeping mode. Okay. So that is a question in front of us. That is active learning what I use because the students are doing something. Then you can say that this is my active learning tools. So active learning is the student should be able to first listen what the teachers are saying. After that, they can read something based on the whatever the teachers has said, and then they can reflect. They can share their experience. They can write the whatever the tools you are using. They can talk. They can watch. They can read happen when the student first is that they can listen to whatever the teachers are saying. Based on that, they can watch certain videos, they can read certain articles. Based on that, they can reflect, they can share their experience with the help of presentation, demonstration. With the help of that, they can share their experience. That is very important. So students are actively engaged in the learning process rather than passively absorbing the lectures. So that is analysis, synthesis, and evaluation of the class content. Just now I say that we are reaching up to apply level, but we are not going to the higher level that is analyze, evaluate, and create. For that purpose, we are going to consider the active learning tools. For that, it is necessary that the main four quadrant that is talking, listening, reading, reflecting, and writing. These are the quadrants where the student has to focus on their this is the approach. This approach has are very helpful for engaging the students. So students are interacting with each other. How they are going to interact with each other after knowing the concept, after reading the concept. Then they can reflect their ideas, they can share their ideas, and based on their ideas, they can demonstrate, they can write the case studies, they can write the article, they can write the research paper. You can consider any assessment strategy here. So with this diagram, you can observe that how this active and passive. Now you can observe that how these participants are sitting just like you. They are sitting passively because you are not going to actively engage. That's why this is the reason we are not going to ask the question. Then obviously we will be in the active learning mode. So this is the very effective way that how you are engaging the students. Next slide, please. So the project brings in our mind that how you are going to use these active learning tools. So active learning tools, obviously it is a student-centric mode. In the student-centered technique, we are going to use. We are going to focus on the student and how you are going to evaluate the students and how you are engaging the students with the help of active learning. So this learning, sometimes the students communicate with the students, teachers communicate with the students, students can communicate with the students, and then students can communicate with the teachers. Which type of a tool you are going to be considered? Under that, there are the learning may occurs. Again, when one more important point is that how you are going to consider these tools, these activities, these are the various pedagogy tools that we are going to consider today. Might be in the whole group. The group may be 4 members, 5 members, 6 members, small group, large group, and sometimes here a group also you can consider, and sometimes an individual, for example, case study presentation like this. So these particular active learning which may be in the form of talking, writing, reading, discussing the problems, solving the problem, presenting, debating, acting, role playing, and journaling, conferring, interacting, building, creating. These are the skills that are required that I can be choose anyone, any skills among these particular whatever we have listed here. Beyond this, there may be other type also skills. I'm listing few of them only. Maybe any form you can consider that you are interested to consider debate competition, role play act, presentations, creating, and problem solving that is project based learning, etc. You can consider. You can be executed in any discipline, not necessary in any course you can apply this strategy and promote the learning among the students from diverse backgrounds. Whatever the backgrounds, if suppose if we are considering that it's a group discussion, in the group discussion, if you are going to consider that which topic you have given to the students, how the students are interacting with each other, and this particular group. Suppose in your case, for example, consider the case that computer network tools. There are the various tools how students will learn. These are the tools. If I am going to teach them, then definitely they may get bored. What we will do that we are taking into the number of groups every group, one tool has to be assigned to each and every group, and every group has to present, has to prepare the presentation, has to prepare the presentation slides and out. Based on that, they can present their ideas. With this, at least one group can know one effectively, and other this means these other groups may can they can present their ideas. Based on that, everyone at last knows that how many network tools are available and how they can be used. So these are the actually my outcome that at least my students should know these are the network tools and which tool is effectively used, what are the limitations, what are the advantages, benefits. These are the various points that we are going to consider with this with the help of this learning tools. We'll see one by one example. So active learning strategy just now we say that talking and listening and writing, reading and reflecting. These are the four quadrants that where we can focus and with these four quadrants we are going to evaluate our students. Next. Just now I said that individual activities, paired activities, informal small groups, Cooperative, again, there is a two quadrants, collaborative learning and cooperative learning. We'll see in the next slides. Teachers can incorporate a variety of strategies. What are the first basically is that as a teacher, you should know that what are your objectives of your course. Based on that, you need to focus that how you are going to consider these objectives with the help of this active learning tools. How many students you are going to consider in your evaluation, and what are the room space. Based on the room space, you have to decide how you are going to conduct this activity. And one more important point is that the time consideration. Whether the time is 60 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, you have to decide the minutes. Based on that, you have to consider the various parameters and design your active learning tools. So the questions raised in our mind that not just now I say that the students learn best when they are actively involved in the learning process. As many authors are saying that when how the students will understand, how the students will remember the things when they are actively involved. If I'm going to ask question, obviously you will definitely remember my questions, and based on that questions you can record your concept. This is the scenario that after 2 weeks, the student must remember the things. 10% when from reading. Okay, reading केल्यानंतर 2 weeks नंतर त्यांना 10%च त्यातलं लक्षात राहू शकतं. Next is that hearing the words. From hearing the words means त्यांनी काहीतरी ऐकलं असेल from video etc. That 20% of that whatever they have here. And next is that looking at pictures, pictorial representation, something, so that they can remember the 30% of that content. And watching a movie is something you are related to your course. Looking at the exhibitions, watching a demonstration, seeing another location, sending some other things. So that is what we are observing, that just picture is one part and the continuous images of that particular courses, whatever the content you are having. If you are making some animated video and you are sharing with your students, the students can remember 50%. Next is that again after watching the video, you are going to ask the questions and your students are sharing their views, their experience. The student can understand, can remember 70%. Next is that then doing a dramatic presentation, simulating the real time experience. Suppose if you are saying that after learning this particular course, now you have to prepare one demonstrations, one with the help of a one real time example if you are giving, and the students can solve the real time example and demonstrate that real time example, then the student obviously remember 90% of the content. That is the effective way how you are going to consider. For example, right now if I am going to teach network tools in class, before that I should be able to hand over some few things related to my students. म्हणजे स्टुडंटने काय करायला पाहिजे, बिफोर अटेंडिंग द लेक्चर the student should learn the basic concept of networks, what network architectures, network protocols, something related to the concept. If they are going to learn. How they are going to learn? You have to share the content with the help of video, with the help of images, with the help of PPTs, with the help of certain contents. Because if you are going to share one Word file, one document, one PDF, they are not going to read it. But if you are going to share the video, they can watch the video effectively. After watching the video, they can attend your lectures effectively. Then you can ask the question to your students about that particular content. That is called as a flipped classroom activity. Obviously, because we had to engage our student, traditional classroom technique will not going to be helping us to reach our goal. What should we do that? Whatever the prerequisite of your lecture, share that prerequisite material with your students prior to the lecture. So while attending the lecture, the student should recall all the things. How they can recall if you are going to share the videos, the presentations, etc. Then they can remember whatever they learn. If you are going to share the handouts, PPTs, then they are not interested to read your PPT, read the articles. What they will do? they're simply skipping the parts. So as a teacher, you should know, you had to analyze your students' abilities. Based on that, you had to decide that how you are going to prepare your resource material. And this resource material will help them to engage, help them to reach, get the knowledge. How they can get the knowledge if they will actively participate. That's why this active tools will be helpful. So as far as the ratio is concerned, traditional approach. So the basic traditional approach, for example, 60 minutes we are having the lecture of 60 minutes. 60 minutes मध्ये तुम्हाला लक्षात येते की lectures starting students fully concentrated असतात. After 10 to 20 minutes, now the students feel that I'm having certain problem. Might be they feel another त्यांच्या ब्रेन मध्ये काहीतरी वेगळं चालत असेल. आपल्याला असं वाटतं physically now I'm feeling that you are physically attending the lecture, but how many of you are mentally present at home? Similarly, like this here also in the graph, we can observe that this after 10 to 20 minutes, the students are focused the particular point. After that, the focus will be reduced. Here is slope with it. For example, acting the I'm going to use, then throughout the lecture, the slope is constant. Not slope असणार आहे, constant rate राहणार आहे. The student लिहिलेंगे, the student can take, student can apply, student can demonstrate, student can present. How this tool will be effectively used, we'll see with the help of various examples. So this is one more active tool that today we are going to use, that is quizzes. So quizzes.com. Anybody is using quizzes.com? Use Kelakoni. You have used. Use that. कभी यूज करता है quizzes.com कभी यूज करता है So, as a teacher, it's my duty that after completion of your lecture, what we do, we will immediately conclude our session and we will go to the next lecture. आपण असं करतो पण तसं न करता 50 मिनिटचा लेक्चर झाल्यानंतर what you have teach during the 15 minutes. You can ask the questions about that, whatever the content you have covered. त्याच्यावर तुम्ही काही questions केले and the विद्यार्थ्यांचे immediately the result will be reflected. The answer no result or no voice. Similarly, in the outcome, तुम्ही करू शकताय. चार पाच क्वेश्चन MCQ questions you can take. Again, if we can subscribe, subscription is there. Questions we just click one button, immediately the questions will come. You just put it in your quiz, whatever the quiz name, for example, तुम्ही म्हटलं computer network quiz आहे. आणि computer network quiz मध्ये for example तुम्हाला कुठल्या concept वर घ्यायची आहे. For example, मी म्हटलं data link layer वर घ्यायचं. The continuous data will all will be added in your quiz and automatically quiz will be created. So these are how you can save your students. Suppose teacher thinking that what are the questions आणि immediately त्यांना ग्राफ दिसते. कोणाला दिसते, कोणाचा आन्सर कोणाला दिसते. Immediately student feels कि बाबा now my name will be reflecting if I am not giving any answer correctly, then my name will be reflecting. And I may be a winner. So they may be actively participated and they may see that every question's answer I should attempt correctly so that my name will be displayed as a winner. So this is going to be covered. This is one of the quizzes.com or cow.in. So cow.in is a one year subscription, sir. 4,000 rupees आहे. That you as you can have one topic as well, you can share among your all faculty. Only thing is that at the time only one faculty can use. Right now, suppose you are having a lecture and now you are at this. After completion of one unit, you can engage. You can use 4,500 एक वर्षासाठी आहे. So count 13. 4500चा आहे. So immediately you can purchase. हा, एक एक युजर आयडी बस होते सर. का बस होते की फॉर एक्झाम्पल माझा एक युनिट पूर्ण झालं, त्या युनिटवर मी काही एमसीक्यू तयार केले आणि विद्यार्थ्यांना घेतलं, तर विद्यार्थ्यांना ऍटलीस्ट तो पर्टिक्युलर युनिट स्टडी करून तर येत, स्टडी केलं की तर रिफ्लेक्ट तरी होती. These are the way that you can use. So quizzes.com आणि count.in. These are the tools that can be helpful for you. So quizzes.com with माझं hands on दाखवेन तुम्हाला. quizzes.com जसं क्रिएट केल्यानंतर when you start तर असं ते code और key number येतो. You have to share this code or key number to your students. So students immediately join and you can see the number of students, how many students join. त्यातल्या किती जणांनी बरोबर दिलं, किती जणांनी चुकीचं आन्सर दिलं हे तुम्हाला reflect होते. So without this, why we have to use active learning tools? Only thing is that the student should be mentally and physically present. Okay. The motto behind is that the student should mentally and physically present. So active learning tools, the purpose is student participation, student engagement, student retention, student ownership in the particular course. Let's actually have an instructor. म्हणजे instructorला गरज नाही जास्त बोलायची. More exciting classroom experience and higher level thinking. That is the most expectations of the active learning. Yes. This is very important slide right now. This is the problem-based learning. Students should work in a small group. Using you had to assign certain problem statements. At the end, for example, to be programming language Java, C, C. At the end, the students should create one small project. कुठलं पण असू शकतो, सी असेल तर रिझर्वेशन सिस्टीम, स्टुडंट डेटा सिस्टीम, हॉस्पिटल मॅनेजमेंट सिस्टीम, असं जर असेल तर तुम्हाला हे प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करायचे आहे त्या पर्टिक्युलर कोर्समध्ये, then the student will be able to learn. Cooperative learning मध्ये students work on individual section of the activity and then compile the result to complete the final activity. म्हणजे कधी कधी असं होतं की आपण कोऑपरेटिव्ह लर्निंग मध्ये तुम्ही वेगवेगळ्या एक ऍक्टिव्हिटी आहे, ती ऍक्टिव्हिटी तुम्ही डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करायचं नंबर ऑफ पार्ट्स मध्ये आणि एक पार्ट प्रत्येक इंडिव्हिज्युअलला द्यायचं आणि त्या इंडिव्हिज्युअलने आपला पार्ट दिले की त्याचा रिझल्ट दुसऱ्याला शेअर करायचा, दुसऱ्याने तिसऱ्याला शेअर करायचा, दिस वे आणि एंड काय होईल त्याचा इफेक्टिव्हली रिझल्ट होईल. ह्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीमुळे काय होतं, स्टुडंट्स मध्ये इंटरॅक्शन वाढते, स्टुडंट्सला हे आपल्याला सक्सेसफुली करायचं आहे, एकमेकांच्या मध्ये कोऑपरेशन निर्माण होते. दॅट्स व्हाय दे आर सेइंग कोऑपरेटिव्ह लर्निंग. Students work together in small group to complete that thing. म्हणजे आपण एखादी मिनी प्रोजेक्टचा ग्रुप असतो, मेगा प्रोजेक्टचा ग्रुप असतो, एखाद्या प्रोजेक्ट साठी आपण स्क्रिप्ट तयार करतो, तो ऍक्च्युअली काय आहे, कोलॅबोरेटिव्ह लर्निंग. कोलॅबोरेटिव्ह लर्निंग इज डिफरंट. सो कोऑपरेटिव्ह लर्निंग अप्रोच मध्ये आणि कोलॅबोरेटिव्ह मध्ये एकमेकांचे कॉपरेशन नेसेसरी आहे. ओनली थिंग इज दॅट इन द कोऑपरेटिव्ह इंडिव्हिज्युअल वर्क हॅज टू बी डन आणि कोलॅबोरेटिव्ह मध्ये कसं होतं, आपण एक 4 जणांचा ग्रुप करतो. The members are actively working and they are completing the project and both the members they are not they are passive. That's why they are not getting any knowledge. Now moving towards the next part. So based on these various parameters, what are your objectives? How many students you need to be consider? How you are going to create the groups? Small groups, large groups, individual, peer. You have to decide and then what is required for conducting this activity. For example, we will see one activity here. We will consider. So very important is that improving the lectures. Now it's very necessary that how I can improve my lectures. First, just now I said that plan the objectives. For example, like I'm going to teach something, just now मी आता active learning केले. तर मी basically काय सुरुवात केली, काय objectives आहे. What should I achieve? Next, I have to use the certain tasks. Right now, as a teacher, what we are doing that we are theoretically entering in our presentation and we are discussing with the student, this is not the way effectively. You should use the graphical presentation, that is very important. Sometimes it is necessary that the student should write certain comments. You can share this presentation on Google Classroom and Google, etc. So that certain facility has to be there where the student need to do certain comments, need to put certain comments. Learn students make suggest important points, do short activities, give students time to generate the questions, help them summarize the major points. So these are the points that we need to improve our lectures. All these points म्हणजे हे माझ्या perception ने मी हे केलेले points आहेत. In the sense what as a teacher if I am going to deliver the session and teachers and students are listening I'm not able to ask the thing. फॉर एक्झाम्पल मला असं आता मला आता कुणाचं नाव नाही आहे थोडक्यात दोन तीन जणांचं मला नाव माहिती तर आय कॅन आस्क मी इमिजिएटली म्हणू शकते जाधव मॅडम प्लीज सांगा तर जेव्हा आपण एखाद्याला नावाने हाक मारतो दॅट मीन्स इट इज व्हेरी नेसेसरी फॉर अस टू रिमेंबर द नेम्स ऑफ द स्टुडंट्स सो दॅट आय कॅन इमिजिएटली रिकॉल फॉर एक्झाम्पल मला असं वाटतं की लास्ट बेंच मध्ये तिथे लास्ट आहे they are not actively presented. They feel that it is a boring. So I can immediately ask their name. So what problem? But I am not able to do this because I don't know the name of that faculty. So name of that particular participant. First important part is that I should remember the names of the students. Later I will deliver the content. The content the students should understand. What is the objective? Why should I learn this concept? If I'm saying that this question is very important for your exam point of view, what will we do right now? We are always saying that this question is very important. This question will be asked for 4 marks, 6 marks, 8 marks. But we will never say that this concept will be definitely useful when you will be acting as a getting that job as a software engineer, as a network engineer, as a network analyst, as a system administrator. For example, computer network course बनते हैं उनमें सांगते हैं. The computer network course when I am going to teach at that time the first introduction during my first introduction of the course I should be able to have this point that after learning this course the abilities you should have that you will get the job as a network engineer, as a network administrator, system administrator, and hardware engineer, system analyst. You will get certain jobs. Focus on it. Again, you have to know one thing is that go to the site naukri.com there are, there are various listed job has to be listed, job description and you can find the network engineer, what are the skills to be required, network analyst, what are the skills required, system administrator, what are the skills required. If you are going to present that skills in front of the student will really say, fine. हे माझ्या skills necessary आहे, these skills are necessary for me. Suppose if I am going to learn all these skills, I may get the job as a network engineer, network analyst, system analyst. And based on that, you have to use these tools in your course so that the student will engage the lecture effectively. So this is a very important point of view that how you are going to first objective line color, graphical presentations you have to use. Sometimes you have to use some name of the students. You can suggest few points. You can ask a question to your students. Do you have any suggestions? Whatever we had these today, do you have any suggestions? Do you think that something needs to be considered in my presentation? That it's very necessary that you have to. Some short activities you can conduct. Just now I said that you can use quizzes.com, cow.in your lectures. Or might be today we are going to discuss other activities, 1 minute paper, what is point. These are the two wherein you can use effectively. It is a very short activity. Within 3 to 4 5 minutes, this activity will be finished. We'll see. Next. So, parts of the lecture. आता beginning of the lecture मला काय असेल बघायला पाहिजे. Middle मध्ये काय असायला पाहिजे. End of the time. The beginning, if you recall the previous lecture, middle मध्ये तुम्हाला काय त्यांना एक क्वेश्चन्स इंटरॅक्शन त्याचे क्वेश्चन तुम्ही काहीतरी विचारायला पाहिजे. एंडला तुम्ही एंड करताना काही ऍक्टिव्हिटी घेऊन तुम्ही ते तुमचं सेशन एंड करू शकता, कन्क्लूड करू शकता. तर एक मिनिट प्लीज. So learning outcomes, what are the learning outcomes? हे important आहे. तुमचे course outcome is very important. And you have to listen to the learning activities you are going to consider. And then feedback and assessment. So gaining the student attentions, activity questions, picture, music, video clips, you can use anyone, and you have to use the students to use the along with humans for creating the participating in the various activities. तर बिगिनिंग मध्ये आपण काय करतोय की बिगिनिंग मध्ये आपण स्टुडंटने काय अंडरस्टँड केलेलं आहे त्याच्यावर तुम्ही काहीतरी क्वेश्चन्स विचारू शकता किंवा तुम्ही एखादा इमेज तयार करायची मागचं जे काही लेक्चर होते एखाद्या इमेज वरून त्याची रिफ्लेक्ट करायचं तुम्ही अंडरस्टँड करू शकता की दे कॅन अंडरस्टँड they have clearly understood whatever you had taught in the previous lecture. Middle of the lecture today, it is expected that you have to make take a pause of 10 to 15 minutes for the students. Obviously, continuously if you are delivering and not taking any pause, then how the students will recall all the things, it is very important. Then make use of active learning strategies. Strategy may be used any size class, but the class आता strategy तुम्ही काय use करते आपण त्याच्यावर discuss करणार आहे. Then build in the pause as you plan the lesson. म्हणजे तुम्ही for example PowerPoint presentation केले PowerPoint presentation you can add one link. Link कुठली for example आपल्या data structure मध्ये algorithms आहे. Linear search, binary search. So for example, if you're going to teach that linear search and binary search, before that तुम्ही एक dancing video दाखवलं linear search चा, binary search चा. तर ते लिनियर सर्च कसं वर्कआउट होतं त्याच्यासाठी पिक्टोरियल रिप्रेझेंटेशन त्यांनी बघितलं immediately they may get the concept clearly because sometimes the students are confused about the linear search and the binary search. In the linear search, sequential search पण आपण म्हणतोय तर त्यांना हे अंडरस्टँड होत नाही की सिक्वेन्शियल सर्च का म्हणतोय जेव्हा तुम्ही डान्सिंग कपल एक व्हिडिओ आहे लिनियर सर्च वर तुम्ही सर्च आउट केला YouTube वर तुम्हाला दिसणार ते फक्त तुम्ही प्रेझेंटेशन मध्ये तुम्ही ऍड करायचं ऍड केलं तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन आलं की लगेच व्हिडिओ काय होणार आहे ओपन होणार आणि स्टुडंट्स कॅन वॉच दिस पर्टिक्युलर व्हिडिओ मग तुम्ही काय करायचं तर कन्सेप्ट शिकवायची सुरुवात करायची त्याचं इतकं इफेक्टिव्ह होतं मी ड्युरिंग माय डेटा स्ट्रक्चर लेक्चर मी असंच कंडक्ट केलंय मुलांना तर इतकं इझी त्यांना अंडरस्टँड होतंय and at the end of the course the students feel very happy मॅडम आम्हाला अक्षरशः अतिशय चांगल्या पद्धतीने समजलं when they understand the concept then only they can write the program as a computer engineer as a what are your expectation that as a teacher my expectation काय my expectation is that my students should be able to write the code correctly effectively within this time my expectation है ना for example if I am going to teach a data structure what are my expectation data structure concept द्यायला पाहिजे ते concept त्यांनी implement करायला पाहिजे आणि ते concept त्यांनी demonstrate करायला पाहिजे हे माझी expectation आहे तर linear search शिकवण्यापूर्वी जर तुम्ही presentation video द्या कसं आहे म्हणजे आपण एखादा व्हिडिओ सर्च केलं तो व्हिडिओ रेडीमेड आहे तुम्हाला एक्झाम्पल दिलेलं आहे असं तुम्ही बऱ्यापैकी करू शकता मी JIS कोलकातामध्ये 1 वीकचा FDP तिथं घेतलेला तर 1 वीक FDP मध्ये त्यांना मी हेच म्हटलं की हाऊ टू फ्रेम द क्वेश्चन्स म्हणजे तुम्ही GIS बेस्ड क्वेश्चन तयार करू शकता व्हिडिओ बेस्ड क्वेश्चन तयार करू शकता पिक्टोरियल बेस्ड क्वेश्चन तयार करू शकता जे अजूनही आपण इम्प्लिमेंट करत नाही आपल्याकडे आपण काय करतो एक्सप्लेन व्हॉट इज मीन बाय राईट अ शॉर्ट नॉन लिस्ट आउट डिफाइन टर्म्स त्याच्या पलीकडे आपण जात नाही So I will demonstrate that questions also. Next. So before class, what exactly? During the class, what are the expectations? And after the class, what are my expectations? So, end of the lecture, end of the session, if I am going to conclude directly, okay, fine, now we have completed this particular concept. असं नाही करायला पाहिजे. विद्यार्थ्यांनी एंड ऑफ द सेशन्स बाबा आज आपण एखादा कन्सेप्ट फॉर एक्झाम्पल मी एखादा कन्सेप्ट डेटा लिंकलेस हा कम्प्लीट झाल्यानंतर आय शुड आस्क क्वेश्चन टू माय स्टुडंट्स की व्हॉट आर द डिफिकल्ट पॉइंट बट इस पॉइंट म्हणजे काय कुठला पॉइंट तुम्हाला असं वाटलं की ते डिस्कट आहे कॉम्प्लेक्स आहे आणि ते तुम्हाला रिवाइज करायचं आहे समटाइम वी फील दॅट की हे पॉइंट आपल्याला पण टीचर कळते दिस पॉइंट इज डिफिकल्ट. So what we will do, we are going to explain that concept one time, second time. Then we feel that okay, fine, no one is asking the question that means everyone has understood. This is our expectation, this is our understanding. But sometimes the student may get hesitation and they are not asking the question to us. So what you will do, you have to do an activity that is called as a muddiest ऑडियन्स पॉइंट काय आहे की तुम्ही पेपर घ्यायचं त्या पेपर मध्ये आजची डेट टाकायची तुमचं कोड टाकायचं व्हॉट एव्हर ते कंटेंट असेल कोड असेल आणि त्याच्यात एकच क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला लिहायचं आहे की व्हॉट आर द मडियस्ट पॉइंट व्हॉट इज अ मडियस्ट व्हॉट आपण नाही व्हॉट इज द मडियस्ट पॉइंट ऑफ पॉइंट ड्युरिंग दिस लेक्चर तर तुम्ही क्वेश्चन विचारला की स्टुडंट थिंक करत असते आजच्या लेक्चर तुम्ही काय शिकवले मला काय आलं नाही आणि त्याला म्हणायचंच आहे की तुम्हाला एक तरी पॉइंट तुम्हाला त्यात टाकायचंच आहे आणि यू शुड सबमिट दॅट पेपर टू मी किती मिनिटाचं काम आहे म्हणजे 1 सिंगल मिनिट हा पण त्याची तयारी तुम्हाला बिफोर द लेक्चर तुम्हाला काय करावं लागेल त्याचं प्रिंटआउट काढून तुमच्याकडे ठेवावं लागेल आता ते प्रिंटआउटची पण गरज आहे की आपण एक टूल करणार आहे पॅडलेट घेऊन त्या पॅडलेट टूल तुम्ही वापरणार प्रिंटआउटची पण गरज पडणार कसं आपण चेक करूया नेक्स्ट मेकिंग टाइम फॉर ऍक्टिव्ह लर्निंग म्हणजे ऍडव्हान्स म्हणजे तुमचं लेक्चर झाल्यानंतर 3 to 4 मिनिट तुम्ही ऍक्टिव्हिटी घ्या परत लेक्चर घ्या परत ऍक्टिव्हिटी घ्या हे ऍक्च्युअली एक्सपेक्टेशन्स आहेत जे आपण तिथपर्यंत रीच होत नाही पण सुरुवातीला ऍटलीस्ट इफ यू कॅन कंडक्ट ऍटलीस्ट वन ऍक्टिव्हिटी ड्युरिंग द एंटायर सेशन then the thing will be helpful. But 60 minutes आहे 60 minutes मध्ये you can assume that 50 minutes you can deliver the content and rest of the 10 minutes you first 5 minutes तुमच्या initial level ला summarize ला जाईल आणि at the end conclusion ला तुम्ही एखादी activity conduct करू शकता. तर हे आहे active learning tools. These are the active learning tools that we are going to discuss today. It's not possible to discuss each and every one. We'll demonstrate few of them. Many activities we can plan, and as per the teacher's interest, how much efforts you are going to put for effective teaching learning. That is the choice of every teacher. Now, so active learning techniques, the classroom assessment technique. For example, you can use the class discussion. Just now I said that 1 minute paper, think pair share activity, pros and cons grid, problem based learning, cooperative learning, experiential learning. Which technique you are going to use? For example, 1 minute paper and modest point. These are it is required only hardly 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute paper means you have to ask only 2 to 3 questions. So, which points do you like? It is very useful for you to make question विचारू which point you feel that it is a very not relevant to this particular course ते तुम्ही विचारू शकता तीसरा point which point you feel it is more complex and is necessary to revise the concept which is काहीतरी 1 minute paper तुम्ही विचारू शकता आपण आपलं एक्झाम्पल बघू 1 minute paper next so as far as what are your course outcome, what types of resources are available for you. तुमच्या तर कुठल्या रिसोर्सेस आहे तुमचे लर्निंग आउटकम काय आहे तुम्ही किती एफर्ट्स देणार आहे तुमच्याकडे किती स्पेस आहे किती टाइम ड्युरेशन आहे बेस्ड ऑन दॅट यू हॅव टू डिसाइड द ऍक्टिव्हिटीज and only conducting this activity will not going to analyze, you can come to the conclusion that whether the students are 100% understand the concept. You should take the feedback also that is very necessary. So for that purpose, there is again one more thing that you are doing, zero.com. Wherein the students can able to poll. जसं आपल्या व्हॉट्सअपवर पोल असतो तसंच इथं तुम्ही पोल घेऊ शकता. You can ask the question. For example, have you understood this concept? Do you like this concept? Any one questions. Or do you think that this particular concept is very difficult? So with this poll, the students will share their experience. So the video, this is the audience interaction made, जे interaction आपण audience शी करू शकतो. Easily we can do it. We'll see with the help of example. तो स्लिडो मध्ये तुम्ही तयार केल्यानंतर स्टुडंटनी काय करायचं त्या पर्टिक्युलर साईडला जायचं जे कोड जसं का जॉइन कंपनी सॉफ्टवेअर सिमिलरली slido.com when you are going to create same the code is generated you have to share that code and the student have to write the code immediately they can join your slido.com. Now moving towards it is next 1 minute paper, muddiest point, sometimes it is called as clearest point, think, pair, share, polling activity, gallery walk, flip classroom, jigsaw activity, case study activity. तर various activities आहेत आपण थोडं डिस्क्रिप्शन देऊया प्रत्येकाचं. So background knowledge prop BKP आपण म्हणू शकतो. The background knowledge prop is very short, simple. You have to use the questionnaires at the start, and you have to promote whatever the knowledge you are having with the help of particular concept जे काय तुमचं असेल. And based on that, you have to understand the diversity of your classroom. Connect between student previous knowledge and new material. त्याची स्ट्रॅटेजी काय आहे की 10 to 15 असेस स्टेटमेंट्स यू हॅव टू बी कन्सिडर. ते स्टेटमेंट्स तुम्ही विद्यार्थ्यांना विचारू शकताय. स्टुडंट कॅन गिव्ह द आन्सर इन 3 लाईन्स. शॉर्ट आन्सर टाइप क्वेश्चन्स विचारू शकताय. एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चन विचारू शकताय. Sometimes you can ask the questions on board and the student have to or तुम्ही त्या क्वेश्चन तुम्ही विद्यार्थ्यांना शेअर करू शकताय. सेम क्वेश्चन तुम्ही बोर्डवर लिहू शकताय. आता हे प्रत्येक टाइमला पॉसिबल नाही. राईट नाउ व्हॉट वी आर डुइंग दॅट वी आर कंडक्टिंग द युनिट टेस्ट 1. In the unit test 1 you can ask the question आपण म्हणू शकतो 2 to 3 line sentences आपण यूज करतो. Sometimes आपण MCQ यूज करतो. तर युनिट टेस्ट मध्ये कव्हर होणारा पॉइंट आहे आणि it's not possible. Consider this knowledge पोस्ट स्टार्ट करायचे असतात. फॉर एक्झाम्पल मला कम्प्युटर नेटवर्क मी कोर्स घेते. तर कम्प्युटर नेटवर्क कोर्स प्री रिक्विजिट काय डेटा कम्युनिकेशन सब्जेक्ट. Because if the student don't know the data communication, they may feel some difficulties while adapting the computer network concepts. So it is very necessary that before that I should ask the question to the student. Do you know the concept of data communication? Do you know this some type of MCQ? So that you should be able to understand that whether the students know the basic concept of data communication that is prerequisite of your course. Then you have to clarify your teaching learning some props has to be used. Which type of props you are using? Maybe a quiz, maybe a question papers, maybe a presentation, maybe whatever props you are using, you have to use that props and you have to apply the strategy. So whatever is the props you are using, you need to be considered. For example, I am using the prop like a presentation. माझा शेवटचा एक आता युनिट आहे. त्या युनिटमध्ये सम ऍप्लिकेशन आहे. सो व्हॉट डू आय एम गोइंग गिव्हिंग दिस असाइनमेंट केस स्टडी टू द स्टुडंट. So while presenting the case study, I should use certain rubrics to evaluate the students. The rubrics काय असायला पाहिजे? The rubrics असेल त्याचं प्रेझेंटेशन, त्याचं कॉन्फिडन्स, त्याचं नॉलेज अबाउट दॅट पर्टिक्युलर कंटेंट आणि टाइम मॅनेजमेंट काय आहे त्यांचं. हे तुम्हाला प्रोब म्हणजे हे जे प्रोब्स तुम्ही यूज केलेले आहेत त्या प्रोब मध्ये इव्हॅल्युएशन करताना obviously you should use the rubrics so that you can evaluate the student. If you know, if the students know that the teachers are evaluating me after conduction of this activity, then they are taking it seriously. Otherwise, they are not taking it seriously. For example, if you are conducting multiple quizzes and you at the end if you are collecting all the marks and considering your assessment, then only they are taking it seriously. So next, so moving towards what is 1 minute paper. So in 1 minute paper, you should ask the question, what was the important thing you learned from today's lecture? You can ask the question to the students. Okay. What are the questions remain unanswered from this lecture? You can ask. तुम्हाला असं वाटतं की बाबा ह्या पॉइंट कन्सिडर करण्यासाठी आय एम गोइंग टू टीच दिस पर्टिक्युलर पॉइंट बट आय हॅव नॉट कवर्ड सम फ्यू पॉइंट्स कुठले असेल इज देयर एनीथिंग यू डिड नॉट अंडरस्टँड so in 1 minute paper, you can list down all these questions. The student should be able to provide this answer to these particular questions. Suppose if any one student writes something, then you should know that the students are facing certain difficulty while understanding this concept. And then you can think on it and again you can teach that concept. That is a possibility. In this 1 minute paper will help the students to freely they can share their experience. And again, the student cannot write any roll number name on the paper because it is very necessary that the students feel hesitation. की बाबा मी आता हे लिहिलं की बाबा मी हे कन्सेप्ट मला समजत नाही तर अदर स्टुडंट त्याला काहीतरी जोक करतील मॅडम असं वाटेल किंवा सरांना असं वाटेल की मला हे कन्सेप्ट समजत नाही सो वन मिनिट पेपर ओनली यू आर नीड टू शेअर the student don't write any number name or on that particular paper only thing is that the whatever the questions we have listed the student should be able to write the answer properly if they feel that the concept is difficult for them they can write that the name of the concept. So that other people will understand about a concept difficult again is that concept. So this is one example I have given here. So these are some few questions you can write over there and the student will write the questions, answers and based on that you will get immediately that these are the points where the students will difficulties. Just now I said that muddiest point. So muddiest point is the confusion points, difficult point, complex points, where the student feel how the student will able to understand. This is the difficult point, muddiest point of my particular course. Now moving towards think, pair, share activity. So are you going to use this activity in your have you used this type of activity in your lecture? Think, pair, share activity. नाही use करायला. तर think, pair, share activity बघा जमतं कसं आहे. ऍक्च्युली कोलॅबोरेटिव्ह लर्निंग आहे. कोलॅबोरेटिव्ह लर्निंग म्हणजे काय आपल्याला एक स्मॉल ग्रुप्स तयार करायचे. वी हॅव टू क्रिएट अ स्मॉल ग्रुप्स. चार आपण फॉर एक्झाम्पल चार आपण दिसले चार मेंबर्स 1 2 3 4 ओके तर हे 1 2 3 4 आपण प्रॉब्लेम आपण करते एका एक ग्रुपला आपण प्रॉब्लेम देणार त्या त्या पर्टिक्युलर ग्रुपने काय करायचं पहिल्यांदा इंडिव्हिज्युअली थिंक करायचं what are the solutions what are the solutions for this particular problem attempting to solve this particular problem statements what are the solutions every individual has to think on it मग मी काय करणार आहे माझा शेजारचा दुसरा जे आहे त्याच्याशी मी शेअर करतो की हे माझं एक्झॅक्ट प्रॉब्लेमचं सोल्युशन आहे दीज आर द सोल्युशन टू माय प्रॉब्लेम तर नेक्स्ट जे peer आहे peer participant has to communicate with this particular participant and they both are communicating both are sharing now they are realizing that this particular solution is best असं एक पेयर करणार दुसरा पेयर पण तसंच करणार based on that when both the pairs have realized and conclude that this is a perfect solution that I can solve this problem then they can communicate with them आता 1 2 मिळून एक सोल्युशन केलं 3 4 कंबाईन करून एक सोल्युशन केलं then 1 2 has to share with 3 4 3 4 has to share with 1 2 at the last, at the end, one solution have to be come out from the particular group. So think pair share activity. Initially, every member has to think on it. After thinking, he has to communicate with the next member. जे काय त्याच्या group मधला next member आहे त्याच्याशी communicate करायचं. For this think pair share activity, the member group number of group ते members असते. Number of members कसे असायला पाहिजे? Even numbers. Odd not. Suppose if you are creating 5, 1, 2 करेल, 3, 4 करेल, 5 पुन्हा बरोबर करेल. Either you take 4 members in one group, either you can take 6 members. More than 4 members is compulsory for think pressure. Understood? So you had to decide. For example, in your lecture, in your particular unit, you may feel that this is the unit, this is peak complexity, and you should know the. It is very necessary for a teacher to know that whether the student understand this. The feedback of the student is very essential for me in particular, whether the student understand this concept or not. Is for a particular unit. Then for this particular unit, you can conduct the think pair share activity, and it will definitely require 60 minutes. One lecture is compulsory required for conducting some type of activity because you have to give the individual problem to every student, and this individual problem has to be shared with the other, and they can find the solution, and then they can share with the other, and after discussion then they can move one solution. This is a very important. आता एक असा ग्रुप झाला, दुसऱ्या ग्रुप मध्ये होणार, तिसऱ्या ग्रुप मध्ये होणार, चौथ्या ग्रुप मध्ये होणार. These way they can come out from one solution and ultimately tomorrow solution identified issue. The choice of the teacher, how you are giving one problem statement to every individual or multiple problem statement to a group of members. Then maybe you can think as you wish. Only thing is that the student is able to think in the group and they can share with the participants, other members, and finally they can discuss and come out from a solution. See how you are building the ability, the team building individual thinking abilities cooperative learning communication when they are going to share, they may कधी असू शकतो when we are going to discuss with our colleague, sometimes whatever our points they may not get understand, and sometimes you may not understand what they are saying. So कुठेतरी तुम्हाला mean solution काढून तुम्ही decision घेत okay fine this is the best solution. So what you are building the skills among your students, the not only the concept, the team building, the cooperative learning, critical thinking, communications, sharing, understanding, some type of abilities the students can be learned through this particular activity. Now, this is very important activity, and I'm very love to always conduct such type of activity in my lecture. Jigsaw activity. So, think pairs activity. What we have observed that individually first thing, then they can share with the other member. But now, this jigsaw activity, what we are doing that we are creating the number of groups first. The group size should be large, then it will be big helpful. For example, sometimes it may happen, for example, cloud computing is a concept in infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. These are the three services where the cloud computing actually works. So to understand this concept fully, I will do, I am creating the three groups. Okay. Three groups मध्ये काय असेल? Infrastructure service, software as a service, and platform as a service. So this particular diagram, with this you can observe. First बघा. First, home group. म्हणजे पहिल्यांदा one group you have given. In one group, you are assigned the activity that we have to learn in service. And you are dividing into number of groups, and every group has the same assignment. Master service and platform as a service, software as a service. And for example, एका ग्रुप मध्ये 3 मेंबर आहे, या ग्रुप मध्ये पण 3 मेंबर आहे, या ग्रुप मध्ये पण 3 मेंबर. So the first member पहिल्यांदा होम ग्रुप काय करणार आहे? डिस्कस करणं. इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिस, प्लॅटफॉर्म ॲज सर्व्हिस, सॉफ्टवेअर ॲज सर्व्हिस. त्यापैकी त्यांनी विचार केला की आम्ही इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिसवर काय करायचं पहिल्यांदा लिस्ट आउट करायचं. तर इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिस डिस्कशन केल्यानंतर तो काय करणार आहे दुसऱ्या ग्रुपमध्ये जाणार आहे. दुसऱ्या ग्रुपमध्ये काय होणार आहे फॉर एक्झाम्पल 1, 2, 3 आहे. पहिला ग्रुपमध्ये 1, 2, 3 आहे. हा ग्रुप इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिस असेल. दुसरा ग्रुप प्लॅटफॉर्म सर्व्हिस आहे आणि तिसरा ग्रुप सॉफ्टवेअर सर्व्हिस आहे. लेस टाइम मध्ये कसं कंडक्ट करायचं म्हणून मी थोडंसं शॉर्ट करते. इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिस, प्लॅटफॉर्म सर्व्हिस आणि सॉफ्टवेअर सर्व्हिस. तर आता हे इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिस मी एक्सप्लेन केल्यानंतर मी काय करणार जे एक मेंबर आहे ते पहिल्या ग्रुपमध्ये तसंच राहणार. सेकंड मेंबर काय करणार सेकंड ग्रुपमध्ये जाणार. थर्ड ग्रुपमध्ये जाणार आणि तिकडचा सेकंड मेंबर इकडे येणार आहे तिकडचा थर्ड मेंबर तिकडे जाणार आहे आणि तिकडचा सेकंड मेंबर इकडे येणार आहे आणि तिकडचा थर्ड मेंबर इकडे जाणार याचा अर्थ we are forming the group, we are dividing the group into number of groups. So at the end काय होणार आहे एका group मध्ये इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिसचा एक मेंबर आहे, प्लॅटफॉर्म सर्व्हिसचा एक मेंबर आले, सॉफ्टवेअर सर्व्हिसचा एक मेंबर आहे. आला ना म्हणजे एका ग्रुपमध्ये डायव्हर्सिटी आलेली आहे. म्हणजे इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिस बद्दल माहिती देणार आणि सॉफ्टवेअर सर्व्हिस बद्दल बोलणार प्लॅटफॉर्म सर्व्हिस. At the end, every member should understand the concept of infrastructure as service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So, jigsaw activity sometimes it is very useful. Why it is useful? Because by creating the groups, you should understand that what are your learning objectives, how the students, how what things you are expecting from the students that students should learn these things. So to learn these things, you have to enlist. But the enlist so you have to do this task 1, task 2, task 3, and task 4. Everyone should know the task 1, task 3, and task 4. समजलं का जसं तुम्हाला इथे दिसतंय की होम ग्रुप मध्ये कलर ब्ल्यू पिंक ग्रीन व्हायलेट सगळं कलर आहे. मग तिथं काय करतो रेड कलरचा एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप, पिंक कलरचा एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप, येलो कलरचा एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप असं तयार करणार आणि लास्टला काय होणार आहे परत तो होम ग्रुप मध्ये येणार. अंडरस्टूड. तर कधी कधी जिक्सॉ ऍक्टिव्हिटी आपल्याला पार्शियली पण करू शकतो. इंडिव्हिज्युअल म्हणजे एका ग्रुपमध्ये एक असाइनमेंट दिलं आणि मग त्यांनी ते डिस्ट्रीब्युट झालं परत त्यांनी त्याच्या ग्रुपमध्ये आलं त्यांनी ते एक्सप्लेन केलं. समजलं. So what we are doing that we are creating a number of groups. We are giving same assignment to every group. Then we are making the expertise in that particular group. Again we are coming back to the home group. जर लास्ट ग्रुप असेल तर it will take 2 hours. मॅक्झिमम मिनिमम 2 hours. शॉर्ट आता मी तुम्हाला शॉर्ट मध्ये पण सांगितलं की बाबा इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सर्व्हिस प्लॅटफॉर्म मध्ये सर्व्हिस सॉफ्टवेअर सर्व्हिस एकेकाला द्यायचं आणि त्याला ब्रेक करायचं परत तुम्ही आपल्या ग्रुपमध्ये द्यायचं. So you can break down into 50% and you can use this jigsaw activity. Believe me, it is very effectively and it's my students so I have done this activity more than 2 times for teaching a particular concept and the students are happily engaged with this activity. They are interacting, more interacting by conducting this activity because the aim of our teachers' aim is that the students should learn this concept effectively and they should be able to understand. And with this activity, plus the communication, team building, presentation, everything is building. So these are the step 1 to 6 meaning digital you can go through it. Next. So these are the some photographs. So short student presentation. Sometimes We can, for example, business communication, English communication skill you are having certain subjects, whether you have to build the communication skills, soft skill among the children, their body language, their vocabulary, their presentation skills. You need to improve it, and the short presentation activity you can conduct, and the students can be able to understand. For example, we can say that the presentation activity, PPT activity is certain way as well. So it is one common short student presentation activity will help them to find the facts exactly what are the facts, and then based on that they can present their ideas. Sometimes my daughter is studying in PIT Chennai. At that time, there in that particular course, if the teacher is adapting the active learning tools techniques, how in every course it is necessary for her to submit the project-based learning activity. It is necessary to present certain facts related to the concept. That means it is necessary for her to write an article, write on every course on every course if she wants to submit if she it is desperately wants good marks, then it is necessary for her to submit an article, one research paper, one project. It is mandatory for them. The certain assessment techniques they are using, and it is mandatory for them because the student should be engaged. The student should be able to understand whatever they have learned. So again, one more important activity. Just now we have discussed the classroom activity. So just now I shared that suppose if I'm going to teach the linear search and binary search, to dancing couple video on the Google Classroom, and I think it is necessary for them to go to the particular video, watch the video carefully. Tomorrow we are going to conduct the linear search algorithm. So is it while watching the video, the student should be able to understand few of the concept. And during next day when we are conducting the lecture on linear search, linear search algorithm, the algorithm fully, and we can write the code. With the help of any programming language, C, C++, they can write the code in Java as per their choice. By understanding that concept, this is the mind learning outcomes. For that, it is necessary that I must share the resource material before conducting the lecture. It is very necessary. So I will take one example. Yes, ma'am, yourself, class, come. What subject you are teaching? We'll take one example. Come on. We'll see how we will work, how we can use the flipped classroom activity in our particular subject. Yes, ICT. What exactly it is? Huh? Fundamentals of information technology. So, can you explain how you can provide the resource material before conducting the lecture? And suppose if we are going to conduct one concept, so what are the prerequisites of that concept? Which material you are going to share with the your students so that next day you can conduct the lecture and then the student can able to understand properly. So this is one of the flipped classroom activity because it is necessary that flipped classroom activity is nothing that before the class the student should be able to read the particular article, read the PDF, watch the video. This is our expectation. And next day during the lecture you can conduct the lecture effectively and you can ask the questions. This is the actually flipped classroom activity. So can you explain? Then at least think on it, na. Suppose you are going to tell me one concept in your ICT. What is exactly? Spreadsheet and word files, PowerPoint presentations. So, for example, right now she is teaching a ICT subject, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Suppose if she is going to start the word मतलब for example मेल मर्ज concept असू शकतो ना मेल मर्ज. Yes. So what is meant by this mail merge exactly? Before that, what are the prerequisites required for mail merge? For example, right now, suppose main one concept है, एक वाला concept है Word and Excel, PowerPoint. For example, right now she is teaching in Word file. So, what are the contents that you are going to deliver? For example, main merge. So, you should understand main merge. What are the prerequisites required? The student should be able to first know that. Suppose if we are going to create one certificates. Certificates for that it is necessary that the listing of the student name, what contents you are going to require put on the certificates. So the certificate, the content of the certificate is the main things. Suppose name of the participants, then class, then roll number, then particular category, for example, branch, etc. Name of the college you are expecting. So you should create the number of attributes in that particular Excel file. And then that particular Excel file you need to be merged with the Word file. The certificates of format तुम्हाला यायला पाहिजे, Excel यायला पाहिजे, Excel मध्ये हे यायला पाहिजे, हे content आहे. That is the definition of that particular main merge. Then only you can merge the document and create the number of certificates automatically. So generating the certificate with the help of the Excel file, it is the concept of the main merge. So it is necessary that I should use the resource material which is to be required for conducting the lecture. तर मी काय करणार आहे एम एबल टू सेट शेअर दिस रिसोर्स मटेरियल कशाचं रिसोर्स मटेरियल बाबा एक्सेल फाईल कधी क्रिएट करायचे ऍट्रिब्यूट्स काय असायला पाहिजे सर्टिफिकेटची इमेज ऑलरेडी असेल तर ती कशी कशी प्लेस होणार आहे हे सुद्धा तुम्ही सांगितलं you can place videos that will be helpful for defining the concept that video you can share with the students and next day during the sessions hands-on you can explain the concept of mail merge and with the hands-on you can share that how exactly whatever the prerequisites were whatever resources you have shared how it will be useful for them for creating the mail merge document. So flip classroom technique is that it is very useful. Well, because if the concept is very complex and you feel that this will not complete in your 60 minutes, it is necessary that, and it is very important. So it is necessary that you should do certain homework. The students should do certain homework at the home before attending the lecture. And then during the lecture, they can able to understand the concept effectively. So this is the very important that lecture-based approach and in classroom approach. Lecture-based approach मध्ये काय we are teaching something and we are giving the homework to our students. Student काय करणार घरी जाणार आणि homework करणार. असा हा traditional approach. But in classroom approach काय आहे की before lecture the student should be use the resource material, shared material, and they can learn something that will be useful for the understanding the concept during the lecture. So these are the distinctive difference between the classroom approach and the traditional approach. So it is very important to understand how as a teacher you are going to consider in your assessment technique. This is why delivering the lecture is not so easy because as a you are putting certain effort, you are present, you are creating a presentation, you have to go through all the concepts clearly. What are from the subject? So that is the students are not engaging. The students are not putting. Students are not efforts. Students are not taking seriously. So sometimes as a teacher you feel bad. Okay, na, sir? Are you agree with me or not? Because after my experience, I can observe clearly. When we are sitting on the dais and on the stage particular, and when I saw the particular faces of the participant, immediately I come to know that how many participants are actively engaged, how many participants are seriously considered this particular issue, this particular concept. So I can immediately come to know. So as a teacher, it feels definitely embarrassing for us. Yeah, I'm putting a lot of effort. Things are not taken seriously. So sometimes we make that determination about it. We also feel that why don't we put certain efforts? Immediately we will go, we are putting the presentation and we are delivering the lectures and the students are listening, not listening, they're not taking care. They're not bothered about that. At the end, what is the outcome? What is the outcome? स्टुडंटला काय माहित नाही कन्सेप्ट काय माहित नाही पोराला काहीतरी आपण विचारणार we will ask some questions and we will give the marks because ultimately result is important. मग theory मध्ये काय होणार आहे they are attempting the questions as per their knowledge as per their understanding and we are giving some marks because ultimately marks is important. So, as a teacher, as a student, right now the scenario is, and we are considering this strategy in our day-to-day teaching. But this is not working, sorry, because right now the competition is very huge. The students are taking the admission in the college where the placement are good. So, how you can increase the placement? How you can give the opportunity to the students? When it is very important to understand that whatever you are teaching, the students are taking it seriously. They are engaging the lecture as per the interest and putting the efforts and doing certain things as per their beyond the lectures they are thinking. Beyond the curriculum they are thinking and they are putting the efforts and doing something. Creativity is very important. At the end, your students should be a creativity something creativity level they can reach up to that level it is very important how you can strengthen your assessment technique that is important as for active learning tools you can increase the performance of your students by engaging certain type of active learning tools. Next is problem-based learning. Actually, this is very important problem-based learning. At the end of the course, the student should be able to create something, innovative solutions, real-time solutions, while using whatever you have taught them during the course. So it is necessary that before going starting with the course. If you are saying that I'm going to consider that my assessment technique that the project based learning approach. So every student has to complete the project. It is necessary. It is mandatory. Then the students is able to think in that direction. So how I can implement this project, whatever the teacher is teaching me, I should be able to implement it with the help of real-time example, with the help of the technology, whatever the technology they are doing, and based on that they can create. So project-based learning approach is very important and it is necessary to use in your assessment strategy. With previous ones. Yes. Yes. So problem is that is basically as a teacher, that when I say that we are the teacher, that means we are the only facilitator, we are providing the facilitator, and the student is able to put the efforts, whatever the facility, whatever the content you have shared, whatever you have taught, based on that they can apply and then they can solve the problems and they may solve the real time problems with the help of whatever the knowledge they are gaining for the so project based learning approach maybe you can give them some design they can use the design the app research work project to find the solution to environmental issues any type of project as per your area you can assign them. So project learning strategies that assign the collaborative working groups, small group is there, 4 to 5 members. Then they had to present their real world problems, set the parameters for completing the project, whatever the parameters required for completion of the project. Teacher consultation, teachers feedback, teachers guidance is important to complete the projects. And then finally they have created the project and then they have to share with the students. So project-based and problem-based learning both are the different approach. In the project-based learning approach, individual can create the project or group. Teacher identifies certain action steps for this particular project and they can create a product. It is necessary that a project-based learning, the student has to develop a prototype and the product that is called as a project-based learning. And problem-based learning means again the group is saying the student has to define certain problem. A problem may be a real-time problem आपण शकतो. The student should identify the real-time problem and then they can identify the problem and they can define the necessary steps to be required to solve this particular problem. So they need to create a solution for this particular problem. Problem is approach each project based approach आएगा. Sometimes we say maybe yes. If it is project मैंने mandatory है, some product is required. In problem is related with the concept that is related to solve the problems, but not lead to the any product or prototype. Now moving towards that is case studies. The case studies again it is very important that some things is we happen in the future and then some real examples are very important. Some students are not really have we are going to ask questions whether problem, whatever the solution, whether it is existing or not. The student should be able to identify whatever the problem is there, whether this before attempting this problem, the student should be able to know that whether any solutions are already available. If so, then you analyze the existing solution first. And then you have to put your own solution. So you cannot copy the solution as it is. So that is called as a literature review where you are giving the reviews of every solution. And then you have to analyze the solution that this particular researcher has putting certain things, this particular researcher has putting certain things. Now after that you are combining and you are saying that now this is my solution. Or unique solution. That is obviously unique solution. Not that it is necessary that the case study activity when it is applicable. Case study activity, for example, right now I'm teaching the subject cloud computing, where I'm putting in my assessment strategy that case study presentation. Presentation at November So what the student has to consider that these are the various cloud applications, Google Cloud, Azure Cloud, IBM Cloud. So the student has to go through one of the cloud, maybe IBM, maybe Google, maybe Azure. Okay, maybe Amazon, maybe Amazon EC2, Amazon S3, Salesforce, these types of a cloud, the various types of a cloud application. What the user participant, what the student should do, the student has to take one case study related to Amazon S3, related to IBM, related to Google, and then they can present how this Google is best as compared to Azure, as compared to the what are the limitations, what are the benefits, what are the services that the Google is offering. So many concepts things are related to the case study. So whether it is suitable to your course, you should identify first. Right now, it is suitable to go for my cloud computing course. That's why I have considered this case study pedagogy, to case study active tools in my assessment strategy. It is very important. So, in the case study, what are the expectations that depending upon the course objective, what is the issue, what are the development, what is the goal of the analysis, what is the problems, what consider, and what are the alternative available to the decision maker, and what would you recommend? So at the end, the student should be conclude whether this IBM cloud is best, Azure is best, Amazon EC3 is best, Salesforce.com is best. So you have to do put certain strategies based on that the student has to put the case study in front of us. Next. Experiential learning, again, it is a hands-on experience, hands-on learning is there. Hands-on learning in the sense you have to, what concepts you are going to teach, how the student has to be abstract that concept, and then how you are going to effectively explain it actively. For example, someone does not say that any concept related to database subject. The database subject this is as SQL. Unless and until it is not connected with the front end, how it is going to reflect. So you have to demonstrate like it in the experiential learning. The student has to see the experience exactly of the database concept. For example, if I'm saying the database मध्ये SQL query असं group backlog असं आहे, group असं आहे, SQL मध्ये असं आहे, PLSQL असं आहे. There are the groups are not feeling experiential, how they can use to be there. So hands-on learning is very important. So you have to make a feel of whatever you are teaching. So sometimes depending upon the course, the experiential learning will be used. Next. So just in time teaching. So just in time teaching is that again the significance is that there is a very important that what is the in-class content and in-class assignment meant what exactly and how you are going to assess. So focusing on the improving students' learning is the basic motto behind that. We are going to ask the web-based questions. जसं आता आपण म्हटलं cow.in, quizzes.com. These are the tools that we are going to use to so that the student should be respond us. We should ask the question with the help of these tools and the student is able to give the answer within a just in time. Yes. Whatever this contents you have delivered, you have shared, and how they are going to reflect, review कसं करणार आहे आपल्याला with the help of various tools. Now, brainstorming is again one more important one. Brainstorming, suppose एखादा problem, real time problem we are going to discuss with the students as per your course. And now what you are doing that every student has to participate in the particular to identify the solution. Suppose if I am saying that whether right now the scenario that why there is a saturation in the computer science and engineering placement. Who is responsible? Whether teacher is responsible, student is responsible, or today's teaching the curriculum is responsible for that. What exactly you are doing? So there is a brainstorming that every student has to be participate. And at the end, we need to conclude that the effort the student has to be good. The student has engaged with more time, the spending time with the more time and they are not taking it seriously. Their skills are not improved. The latest technology बद्दलची माहिती नाहीये. तर so sometimes it is also useful while considering this activity in your particular subject. So while considering the strategy in your subject, it is very necessary that thoroughly you should go to your syllabus first. And at the after that you have to decide the learning outcome, then you have to decide the active learning tools and techniques. These tools and techniques are there. One of the activities that is the brainstorming is between go for a solution, then for you may get the number of solutions from the student. Sometimes you feel that the students are not able to understand it, but it is working because brainstorming is the one methodology, one activity. We will definitely think that whether students are thinking why it is to be not working, why it is working, how it will work, whether it is because of what effort should be considered to successfully execute this. What concepts are there? So you have to decide certain solutions. Certain, if you don't know the problem, maybe a social problem, maybe a genuine problem related to your particular course, then maybe application part of the your course. Brainstorming will be effectively work. Now moving towards the concept map. So I think it is very important. Now I'm going to teach one concept that is infrastructure as a service, software as a service, the virtualization, cloud computing. If I'm going to teach, at the end I should ask the students to draw this particular diagram. So, what is the main idea of your concept? How this concept has to be distributed? Right now, I have considered the volume. Just what is the molecule? In the same you can say that formula, liquid ion, gas ion. Another molecules for the motions ion. These motions can be around the grids. So this is the concept exactly what I can diagram with that in summary. A concept एखादी concept शिकवल्यानंतर student can draw the diagram. Just now I say that water. Water म्हटलं की त्याला molecules आले, त्याच्यात states आले. Immediately state च्या under कुठले states आहेत आणि molecules मध्ये काय आहे, molecules how it is connected with the states. Example. Somebody immediately understand the concept. So at the end, if you say you are if you are saying with your students that this concept you're doing. I'm saying that you have to draw the concept map. Then they will be able to clearly understand what exactly. And throughout the session, they should actively whatever you are teaching. Suppose at the end, before conducting the lecture, you are saying that at the end of the session, you had to draw the concept map, whatever we are teaching. So at the end, the student if they are drawing and then immediately you also come to know that what are the missing points during your session. Sometimes say while teaching, we will see certain as a teacher we will see few points. That is a possibility. So while when we analyze the concept map of the students, we realize that oh, one point is missing. So again we can recall that one. Sometimes it may happen that the students are missing certain points, then you can again recall that points. You can again teach that point so that the students should be able to understand. Okay. So again, mind map activity. So concept map and mind map activity is what? It is a diagrammatically visualize the informations आणि hierarchically and show the relationship among the pieces of the concept map मध्ये तुम्ही बघितलं की एक रूट टू जसं ट्रीचे डायग्राम असतील रूट नोड्स लिव्स जसं असतात तसं तो कन्सेप्ट मॅप आहे माइंड मॅप मध्ये स्पेसिफिक स्ट्रक्चर नाहीये तुम्ही कशी पण त्याचे डायग्राम्स तुम्ही ड्रॉ करू शकता जेवढे कन्सेप्ट तिथे निघत असतील माइंड मॅप मध्ये ते निघू शकतात तो created around a single concept drawn as an image in center of a blank page. एक पेज तुम्ही द्यायचे फॉर एक्झाम्पल प्रोजेक्ट आहे कन्सेप्ट अंडरस्टँड करण्यासाठी प्रोजेक्ट एक कन्सेप्ट अंडरस्टँड करण्यासाठी माहिती काय की म्हणजे टीम मेंबर 1 2 how many teams ते तुम्ही लिस्टिंग करू शकताय त्या टीम मध्ये तुम्ही लिस्टिंग करू शकता प्लॅनिंग मध्ये यू हॅव टू डिसाइड व्हॉट आर द गोल्स व्हॉट आर द रिस्क एस्टिमेट्स काय रेडिनेस काय स्कोप रिक्वायरमेंट स्ट्रक्चर काय यू हॅव कन्सिडर रिसोर्सेस मध्ये व्हॉट आर द मोटिव्स आर रिक्वायर्ड then what डिसाइडमेंट्स किती आहे बजेट मध्ये एक्सपेन्सेस काय रिसोर्सेस काय so considering the resources, these resources has to be shared with the team 2, team 1. These resources have to be shared with the staff. Then submit the expenses. तुम्ही ते linking करू शकता properly. मग structure decided this particular has to be used for attaining the goals. तुम्हाला order model line मध्ये दिसते. So whatever the requirements, based on the requirement you are estimating, and based on the estimation you are planning, you are deciding the deadlines, and this deadline will be completed by the stakeholders. Again, the stakeholder is nothing team, and this team is requiring the resources, and that is comes under the budget and The budget will be decided after analyzing the requirement. So this is actually mind map activity. Only thing is that you need to understand the student should be at the class. Come to know that this project means what? Project has a broad category of planning, budgeting, resources, scope, teams. You may consider another point of view. I have considered only these one points. These are the points I feel that it is very important. You can consider getting more points. So these points are important and we mean that how it is connected to the particular. This is the one branch. Particular number of branches to evolution plan, number of leaves, and how they are linking to the branches. So this is the one mind map activity. Through diagrammatically, pictorial representation, this should be understand. So what I am doing in my particular course, after completion of every unit, the student has to draw this mind map activity. And after every lecture, the student has to draw the concept map. ते मी माझ्या ट्रेडिशनल म्हणजे रुटीन मध्ये माझं मी आणलेले इन माय एव्हरी कोर्स आय एम युजिंग दिस असेसमेंट स्ट्रॅटेजी दॅट स्टुडंट हॅज टू draw one mind map activity after completion of one unit. ते मी माझ्या गुगल क्लासरूम मध्ये पण तुम्ही दाखवते स्टुडंट्स आर ड्रॉइंग इट इज व्हेरी इफेक्टिव्हली आपल्याला पण कधी कधी लक्षात येत नाही की अरे हे पॉईंट होतं हे सब पॉईंट आलेला होता म्हणजे आपण न कळत त्यांना एक्सप्लेन केलं होतं आणि स्टुडंटने बरोबर ते लक्षात ठेवलेलं सो इट इज वर्क्स इफेक्टिव्हली नाउ पोस्टर प्रेझेंटेशन ऍक्टिव्हिटी so you can give the topic to your each and every individual मध्ये तुम्ही करू शकताय ग्रुप मध्ये तुम्ही एखादा टॉपिक देऊ शकताय the student can present that you all of you know very well and again you have to use the rubrics for evaluating the poster presentation. The classroom responses. So at the end of lecture, you can use Kahoot, Mentimeter आहे, Quizlet आहे, Slido आपण बघितलेला आहे आता, Socrates tools आहे, Poll everywhere आहे. So many tools are available. Any tool you can use while taking the response from the participants. Madam, continue करू शकते. So these are the open digital tools for interactive online teaching and learning. Mentimeter, I have shared the link of Mentimeter. So you can use this Mentimeter. This is where you can use. Quizzes.com. Just now I said that poll everywhere you can Scout use, Sido use, Google Form the simple I that you already use. So notes at least you come to know that whether your students are getting whatever you are teaching during the lecture. So poll everywhere हे demonstration मला दाखवायचं होते. Slido.com. It is very easy. Nice. So engaging student मध्ये आपण students behavior, students emotions, the cognitive level, we can increase and they can interact effectively. The classroom rules for the students have said that it is a responsibility that every student should attend the lectures in time, work करायला पाहिजे, opportunity मिळायला पाहिजे त्यांना, analyze करायला पाहिजे. Next. So few active learning is not now I'm saying that is a gaming pedagogy where you can use snake and ladder. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति ये गेम पण तुम्ही डिझाइन करू शकता. Crossword activity. Are you using this activity crossword? नाही. Socrates tools, Padlet, Moodle with how pedagogy. So I'm requesting you, sir, and once again we can conduct because it is a hands-on actually tools. Yeah? Because it is very effectively, at least the teachers should know that these are the active learning tools. Without these tools, nowadays it is very impossible for us to deliver the session effectively. Because at the end, what are the efforts you are taking with, for your students? It is very important. सो डेमॉन्स्ट्रेशन मी तुम्हाला देऊ शकते त्याच्यावर कारण हे हँड्स ऑन आहे क्रॉसवर्ड कसं यूज करायचं सॉवरेंटी टेबल्स पॅडलेट ऍक्च्युली मी पॅडलेट वर येणार होते की जे काही आज आपण आता शिकलेलं आहे यू कॅन विथ द हेल्प ऑफ पॅडलेट यू कॅन रिव्ह्यू दॅट कन्सेप्ट जस्ट एक रिवाइज करते मी वी कॅन फ्रेम द क्वेश्चंस this concept is very without hands on it is very difficult to folder yes. Yes. Just now I said that you have to go through the naukri.com and you have to identify which jobs that you will get after learning your course. Then you can frame the questions. तर हे ऍक्टिव्हिटी मला आता ऍक्च्युली घ्यायची होती पण टाइम नाही आहे आपल्याकडे हॉपस्कॉच ऍक्टिव्हिटी आहे सो दिस इज नॉट एनी कोर्स रिलेटेड ऍक्टिव्हिटी जस्ट टू चेंज द माइंड ऑफ जसं आपण हे काही while conducting continuously 2 lecture 3 lecture 4 lecture किंवा कधी तुम्हाला असेल so you want to take a break so you can conduct such type of activity ते आपण आज घेणार आहोत नेक्स्ट टाइम घेऊया नक्की now, this is a GIF based question. So, GIF based question मध्ये you can ask the question to the students, identify this PO. कुठला टाईपचा PO आहे मी त्यांना क्वेश्चन दिलं तर GIF based question you can create. ते मी तुम्हाला पुढच्या लेक्चरला नक्की सांगेन. शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ जरा हे करते. स्लाइड शो करू शकतो. CGI based क्वेश्चन शॉर्टलिस्ट पाथ आपल्याला आयडेंटिफाय करायचे तर काय दिसते तुम्हाला ए हा रूट हे सोर्स आहे आणि मला जी पर्यंत जायचं असेल तर शॉर्टलिस्ट पाथ कुठला आहे तर हे दिस वे यू कॅन यूज जीआय आन्सर करून युअर स्टुडंट and students are happily given answer because this is the FDP encryption work field works. So in this pictorial diagram representation, you can explain the students effectively. Yeah, this is the PO interpretation activity. तर हे POs 12 आहे PO 1 to 12 बरोबर आहे तर this PO interpretation activity you can identify with the help of the picture and give the answer. आता कुठला PO आहे माझं अनालिसिस कुठला आहे इंजिनियर अँड सोसायटी ओके इंजिनियर अँड सोसायटी म्हटलं की तिथं IST तुम्हाला दिसते तर दीज द ऍक्च्युअली सस्टेनेबिलिटी आहे लाईफ लॉंग लर्निंग म्हटलं की NPTEL आलेलं आहे सो हाऊ यू आर गोइंग टू कन्सिडर मॅप विथ द कन्सेप्ट विथ दिस पिक्चर लाईफ लॉंग लर्निंग म्हटलं की NPTEL आपण दिलेलं आहे सो वी ऑलवेज हॅज टू लर्न NPTEL चे कोर्सेस आपण व्हिडिओ कंटिन्युअसली अपडेट होतो So you have to think that how environment and sustainability तुम्हाला दिसते. टीम टीम बिल्डिंग एक इंडिव्हिज्युअल अँड टीम वर्क एक पीओ आहे आपला तर ते तुम्हाला तिथं दिसते सो दिस इज द वे दॅट हाऊ यू आर गोइंग टू कन्सिडर ए इमेज अँड दॅट इमेज इज मॅप विथ युअर कन्सेप्ट तो स्टुडंट इमिजिएटली म्हणू शकतो की हा हे कन्सेप्ट आहे हा हे कन्सेप्ट आहे देन यू रिअलाइज दॅट द स्टुडंट्स हॅव almost understand the concept 100% effectively whatever you are teaching. So a PO interpretation activity. This is again one you can draw the pattern. तर मी आता हे एनबीए चे एक्झाम्पल दिलं होतं की एनबीए ची पहिली प्रोसेस काय असते दुसरी प्रोसेस काय असते सो दीज वे द कॅरेक्टर वाईज त्यांनी काय करायचं तो मॅप करत जायचं पहिल्यांदा एनबीए ची पहिली प्रोसेस आहे registration it is coming to the applications application, submit the pre-qualifier, then we have to pay the 10% fee, submit the processing, evaluation report, award of accreditation. See, if you are giving this paper to your students and you are saying that की जे काय आपण शिकलेलं आहे त्याचं पूर्ण फ्लो करा फ्लो ड्रॉ करा याचा अर्थ काय व्हॉट एव्हर यू आर टीचिंग द स्टुडंट्स आर अंडरस्टँडिंग क्रॉसवर्ड ऍक्टिव्हिटी ऑनलाईन पण तुम्ही क्रॉसवर्ड ऍक्टिव्हिटी करू शकतो ते आम्हाला दाखवायचं होतं पण नेक्स्ट टाइम आपण नक्की करू यू कॅन हे पिक्चर आहे त्या पिक्चरला आयडेंटिफाय करून स्टुडंटला विचारत तर ऍटलीस्ट ते काहीतरी थिंक तरी करतील की बाबा ऍक्च्युली ह्या पिक्चर मध्ये सांगायचं काय आणि त्यांना काय आहे हे क्रिटिकल थिंकिंगचे असेसमेंट स्ट्रॅटेजी आहे यू कॅन से इंटरप्रेट इमेज तुम्ही कसं इंटरप्रेट करणार आहे इमेजला प्रत्येकाच्या हे जे आहे इमॅजिनर थॉट प्रोसेस आहे त्याच्यानुसार तुम्ही उत्तर देऊ शकता हा मी आता म्हटलं होतं बघ युट्यूब रॅडिक सॉर्ट बायनरी सॉर्ट लिनियर सॉर्ट जर तुम्ही एखादा तुम्ही इम्प्लिमेंट केलं Sound
Take a perfect marble break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci sequence and divide each with a line to manage to get the big shape. You begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant.
Fibonacci series आपण बघू शकतो 1 1 2 3 3 plus 2 5 5 plus 3 8 8 plus 5 13 13 plus 5 18
The focus of the mind create the same as parents need communication and the time goes into the shoe. The ways that make
so this is a very necessary that the student will take whatever
one, one, two, three, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sandars, starfish, patterns on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this thing.
These way you can explain this concept effectively with the students. Only thing is that you are just copying and efforts करून थोडंसं टाकावं लागेल Maybe this. So again, you can take the survey form from so that the student can rate whatever the learning outcome तुम्ही decide केलेला आहे. तर लर्निंग आउटकम तुम्ही खरंच अचीव केलाय की नाही. So survey form you can create and you can share with the students, and at the end you can realize whatever you taught them whether they have fully understood, and they may feel that they may get the job whatever they have done the particular courses. It's a picture analysis. Critical thinking related. Okay. So these are the active learning tools. How you are going to use, and there are various ways. This is just I'm giving some example that I have used in my curriculum in my courses. And believe me, the students are effectively used, and they are able to understand the concept effectively by delivering the lectures. And if you are actively engaged, then only 5 to 10 minutes are required for them to actively participate. But during 60 minutes, they are actively participating because they may feel that at the end or between the lecture, madam will ask any activity, madam will ask any questions, madam will share any activity, then how can I give the answer? So this quizzes.com, Socrates tools, Padlet, these are the various tools we will see in the next session and so on. How you can use in your course to engage your students, and students are happily learn from whatever you are teaching. So I hope you will go through all it. So during the lesson, I'm able to conclude it properly, not concluded it properly, because hands-on experience is required. Just now I'm saying pieces.com, Play-Doh.com, Socrates, Padlet, crossword, mind map, concept map, project-based learning, poster presentation. Okay, these are the various tools that you can use. At least any one, two or three tools if you are using. Next time we'll definitely conduct again one session which we are listed. So thank you so much, sir, again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Uh, I request all HOD to join the dais. Thank you, ma'am, for your time, efforts, and expertise. I'm sure that this session will be helpful to us. I request our principal, sir, feedback करेंगे.
The engineering organized is for research. Our research person, Dr. Shikshan, coordinator, Patil, all IT department faculty, and my colleagues. First of all, I must appreciate the tireless efforts of our organizing committee, Mr. Patil and all IT department faculty, for their meticulous planning and execution. Your dedication has made this program successful. In these 3 days, FDP, there is a advanced research, methodology and pedagogies are implemented. Today's session was very nice. Just I will talk only on the today's session because really it was totally interesting and informative and so many things were learned. I think it was very very less time for to explain so many things in a short period. And Madam has promised to come again here for the next activity. So, Madam, I am giving you in advance the invitation for the next activity and will give much more time for you, especially will keep reservation for you only. Because today's session was very good. It will be significantly improve our technical practices. And now, because of the time constraint, I am going to conclude now my speech. And thanks to the organizing committee for giving me to say the words. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
आणखी कोण आहे का फीडबॅक देण्यासाठी इंटरेस्टेड? Here we have a moment or token of appreciation. I would like to request our principal sir to kindly present this token of our honor case. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Please take a seat. Now I would like to request Principal Sir to share his views on 3 days of faculty development program.
Good evening, everyone. Now, Dr. Shabina Muti Madam, Associate Professor of CSE Department of our KBP College of Engineering, Satara. The 3 days coordinator Muti Madam, HOD of Information Technology Department, all HODs, teaching faculty and non-teaching staff. The 3 days faculty development program, the very new topic, advanced research. So we are going to learn the research and pedagogy. I think this is a very important topic selected about information technology. And the reason topic actually because normally our total is our thinking normally passive. So by using the different techniques, it is very necessary to make them achieve. And our last few says lifelong learning tool. If you are want to achieve lifelong learning tool, you have to go only and only for the active learning tool. Otherwise, you cannot achieve it with you. If cannot appreciate, you will have to show some theory. It's very important. It is a very short time appreciate Nilkant Madam and faculty and staff of Information Technology Department for arranging this 3 day FDP on research and teaching methodology. Actually, our Information Technology Department is a new department. In spite of that, they have given a very nice faculty development program. This is everyone from the department for understanding external reports taken by everything
Operating is there, posture, legs, certificate, there, life speaking also is there. So operating is there, only like that, this one is there. So I have actually gain some new knowledge, okay, new concepts in the research and teaching methodology. So again, I would like to say that this FDP war had grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request HOD ma'am for delivering 4 more thanks.
गुड इव्हनिंग ऑल खूप उशीर झालाय सगळ्यांनी ठेवल्यावर तर की आम्हाला घरी 6 बरोबर वाजलेले आहेत सो वोट ऑफ थँक्स साठी फार वेळ घेणार आहे मी फॉर्मॅलिटीज आहेत त्याला कंप्लीट कराव्या लागतील सो रिस्पेक्टेड अँड मोस्ट डिस्टिंग्विश गेस्ट ऑफ द डे मिसेस सबीना सय्यद मॅम और मोदी मॅम ऍक्च्युली बोर्डमध्ये सय्यद लिहिलं principal of our Pedagogy Polytechnic, Honorable Sanjay sir, all HODs present over here, faculty members, good evening all. It's a great honor to propose a vote of thanks to all who have guided, supported, and us for making this serious faculty development program successful. Furthermore, I would like to propose a vote of thanks to our today's guest and resource person, Mrs. Sabina Sayyed ma'am, for gracing today's FDP session, teaching learning pedagogies for active learning tools. So some concepts like classrooms, active learning of student, growth economy, learning parameters, effective use of active learning tools will help us to improve our teaching learning process, ma'am. So I would like to express my thanks to you. I would like to express our profound gratitude to our principal sir, Honorable Mr. N.B. Devi, for giving us permission to organize such a 3 days faculty development program and his presence to all sessions, guidance and support. Thank you, sir. आणि मला रिक्वेस्ट होती सर की मॅमनी जसं सांगितलं की कामूरचं सबस्क्रिप्शन फक्त 4,500 आहे मग मला असं वाटतं की आपण घ्यायला काही हरकत नाही सर आणि आम्ही डेफिनेटली ते वापरू I would like to thank my all departmental faculty supporting staff for making this event successful. Actually, जसं सर म्हटले की डिपार्टमेंट नवीन आहे सो फॅकल्टीजना हा फर्स्ट एक्सपिरियन्स आहे कारण सगळ्यांनीच हा फर्स्ट टाइम एफडीपी अरेंज केलाय नॉर्मली एफडीपी म्हणलं की आपल्या एमसी डिपार्टमेंटच्या एचओडी मॅम आहेत जाधव मॅम त्यांचं नाव निघतं पण आम्ही प्रयत्न केलाय आणि होप सो की मॅम जशा एफडीपी अरेंज करत होतं त्या लेवलने आम्ही प्रयत्न केलेले आहे सो जरी मी कोऑर्डिनेटर असले इव्हेंटची तरीही हा इव्हेंट सक्सेसफुल होण्यासाठी एक टीम लागते फक्त टीम लीडरचं हे काम नाहीये तसंच ते आमचं जे डिपार्टमेंट आहे त्या सगळ्या फॅकल्टीनी खूप एफर्ट्स घेतलेले आहेत अगदी रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म असो सर्टिफिकेट प्रिंटिंग असो त्याच्यानंतर फीडबॅकचा फॉर्म येईल ऑनलाईन सर्टिफिकेट जनरेशन असेल स्टेज अरेंजमेंट असेल इनॉग्रेशन फॅकल्टी फंक्शन असेल किंवा अँकरिंग असेल त्याच्यानंतर न्यूजपेपर पब्लिसिटी असेल या सगळ्यामध्ये आमच्या फॅकल्टीने एफर्ट्स घेतलेले आहेत जसं की निकोडे मॅडम असतील महाडिक मॅडम यादव मॅडम भागवत सर मोरे मॅडम त्याच्यानंतर जाधव मॅडम आहेत सो या सगळ्यांनी महाडिक मॅडम आहेत सगळ्यांनी खूप एफर्ट्स घेतलेले आहेत सो तुम्ही इथे प्रेझेंट राहिला आणि आम्हाला सपोर्ट केला त्याबद्दल मी तुमच्या सगळ्यांचे खूप खूप आभार मानते कारण तुम्ही जर इथे आला नसता सेशन अटेंड नसता केला तर आमचे एफर्ट्स कोणी रेकग्नाइज केले नसतं सो थँक्यू ऑल last but not the least, great thanks to all the faculty members present over here. Once again, I thanks all for you for your cordial presence, cooperation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, with the permission of the dignitaries present on the dais, I declare today's session has been completed. Thank you once again.